We are live.
Hi, I'm Kevin Finnefrock, Superintendent of East Canton Schools. I'd like to begin by expressing on behalf of our Board of Education and our entire school district my deep gratitude for the support of our students and families and communities that they have shown towards our school and educational system during these challenging times. I'm excited to share our plans to reset and restart East Canton schools for the 2020-2021 school year. Please know that our plan is designed to be flexible, to meet the needs of all of our families, and also designed with the safety of our staff and students as being top priorities. As we created our plan, I'd like to begin with just connecting to our mission statement and our purpose in our school district. We're one of the, to my knowledge, only school districts in the state of Ohio and in the entire country that has the word mission, has the word community in our mission statement. And our purpose and what we're here to do is to educate, empower, and cultivate the unique potential within every student. And this year, those circumstances and our educational environment is certainly unique, but our commitment to this mission and to advancing this mission and bringing life to this mission is very strong. So here are some guiding principles. Number one is we will continue to rely on our local health officials, the Ohio Department of Health, the CDC for guidance and how we are able to offer education to our students in the safest possible manner for staff and students. Over the past 3 months, I have been in regular contact with our local health officials at the Stark County Health Department, and every week have a touch point phone conference where we're able to ask questions and get guidance and ultimately put the best decision forth for our kids. Number two is safety, safety, safety is the top concern and the top priority. We understand that we cannot create a plan that eliminates risk. We can only mitigate risk. Number three is equity and access for all students is important. We want to make sure that we put a focus on the online classes, the families that choose online learning, that be teacher directed. And we also are mindful of the social and emotional needs of our students. And lastly is within all the decisions that we're making, we need to and have been mindful of finances and resources. Budget is a consideration in the planning, and we've made every effort in the decisions that we've made to involve our faculty and staff and school stakeholders. So here's the guidance from the Ohio Department of Health. There's really 5 main categories that the Ohio Department of Health has issued guidance that schools must meet to be able to offer in-class education. The first category is assessing for symptoms. And so these are temperature checks. There's an education component to know what are the symptoms of COVID-19. And this is an area where I'm asking for help and assistance from our parents. And we're going to be asking parents to do symptom checks before children go to school, if that's the option that you choose. We will also have some checks and balances where the school will be performing some temperature checks, which I will outline later in the plan. The second major category is hand hygiene to prevent the spread of COVID-19. We're installing hand sanitizer stations in all of our classrooms. Our elementary classrooms are already equipped with sinks where students and staff are able to wash their hands. Category 3 is thoroughly cleaning and sanitizing school environment to limit the spread on shared surfaces. Our custodial team has put together protocols that will enhance this sanitation and disinfectant plan for high-touch areas throughout the building. The 4th category is practicing social distancing. We'll talk about this. There's certain transitions and certain times when social distancing is simply not possible. For those times, we'll talk more in depth in this presentation about what our plan is for facial coverings. And at every chance that we have, we'll work to social distance as best as we can. And the last category is the implementation of face coverings. And face coverings could either be a face mask or a face shield, and we'll get into more detail. So here are the options. We wanted to be flexible. We wanted to offer families choices depending upon the comfort level of the student, the parents, and the household. And our first option that we're offering parents and students is the all-in option. This is available for all students in grades K through 12. The students report to school every day and complete a normal school day. We have increased mitigation policies that will be in place. And for our students that are involved in the Career Tech program, the Career Tech courses at Canton South and at Perry are only offered in person. The second option for our families is the online academy, school-based. This is somewhat of a unique option to East Canton. And as I mentioned in my opening comments, community is an important part of our mission. And the school-based option is in partnership with the Fultz Community Center. And we will be offering this for students in grades 6 through 12. The students will report to the Fultz Community Center for 3 hours per day, if they so choose, from 8:30 to 11:30, to complete their schoolwork online with an adult supervisor. The students in the Fultz will be socially distant, at least 6 feet, and any work that's not done or not completed during that 3-hour time will then be expected to be completed at home. The school district will provide transportation for the online academy school-based option. And the final option that we are offering our students and parents is the online academy home-based option. And this would be open to all students K through 12, and students complete online work completely from home with a virtual support of a local educator. And I want to note too that at the bottom of the slides, we recognize and realize that plans are subject to change based on evolving conditions, the data about the status of the pandemic, and recommendations and guidance from public health authorities. So let's talk a little bit more about the all-in option. So we are asking those families taking advantage of this option to assess student health before school. To the extent possible, we will work to social distance. This will be in-person learning. The students would report every day. It's the traditional length of a school day. We'll take attendance daily. And one thing we did for this option is we significantly increased the amount of time that nursing services will be available at East Canton schools. We have protocols in place to mitigate health and safety concerns that include additional cleaning of surfaces. There'll be increased hand hygiene protocols, and face coverings will be required when social distancing is not possible. And face shields would be an acceptable alternative per the guidance from the Ohio Department of Health. Now, one of the questions that I know that you may have at this time is, will the classrooms be able to be social distance at least 6 feet? And the answer at this time, we had a few of our classrooms and we spread the desk out 6 feet. The max occupancy is about 16 to 18 in a classroom when spaced out 6 feet. Until all of our families declare whether they're going to choose the all-in option, the online academy home-based, or the online academy school-based, we won't be able to answer that question if the classroom environment will be able to socially distance the students 6 feet. Lunchroom space will expand to other areas, will not allow visitors or volunteers, no shared student supplies, no lockers, no field trips, and breakfast will be grab and go. We are going to be going, due to safety concerns of COVID-19, to a staggered start between our elementary and middle school, high school. So the district goal is to put forth a plan that is safe and offers students an effective learning environment for staff and students. The staggered start and end times will allow for fewer students on a bus at one time and less congestion when entering or leaving campus. The guidance from the local health officials is that there will be no more than 2 students to a seat on a bus. And under our current start time with K-12, that simply was not feasible. And so we felt as though the staggered start would allow us to meet some of the capacity requirements for transportation and offer a safer way for staff and students to enter the building and also to exit the building. And also recommendations from the CDC and the health department support the staggered start. The elementary student day will be from 7:45 to 2:15. Students can be dropped off no earlier than 7:30 and will go directly to their classrooms. The middle school and high school student day will be from 8:30 to 3 p.m. Students can be dropped off no earlier than 8:15 and must go directly to their classrooms. We understand that with the elementary school day ending at 2:15, that this may create some childcare issues for families. We have partnered with the YMCA, who will offer after-school childcare for students in grades K through 6. The after-school program will run from 2:15 to 6. Social distancing expectations will be followed, and the YMCA will be taking registrations beginning August 3rd. On this slide, we have the contact information of Andrew Stiles, who's the child care director, an email and a phone number for families that may be interested in after-school childcare. So, face covering expectations. As many of you know, Governor DeWine yesterday announced a mandatory face covering mandate throughout the state of Ohio. In that mandate, it was specifically stated that schools should follow the guidance that was previously released by the Ohio Department of Health. Thus, our moving forward plan for face coverings is as follows. All faculty and staff will be required to wear a face mask or a face shield in situations where learning may be inhibited. Students should have their own face covering, mask, or shield and wear it to school. The school will also provide students with a face shield to wear during the school day. The face covering health appeals form will be available on final forms and due by August 14th. We understand that there may be an exemption or a medical reason why one would not be able to wear a face mask. Those families were asking to fill out an appeal form, and we will then be requesting that those students, when we're not able to social distance, wear a face shield. For preschool students, there'd be no requirement to wear a facial covering. For students in grades K through 2, the coverings will be required on buses and when social distancing is not feasible. When seated in the classrooms, students will be provided a plastic divider to work behind as pictured in this slide, in addition to being socially distant to the extent that we can do so in the classroom. For students in grades 3 through 12, face coverings will be required on buses and when social distancing is not feasible. The goal is to allow students not to wear coverings as much as safety allows, but space limitations may require students to wear masks the majority of the day with some mask breaks. Depending upon how many families and students sign up for the online academy, it may be feasible that we could social distance in the classroom. However, it may also not be feasible. The face covering breaks will be provided as much as possible with consideration of students' ages and needs. Bus riding expectations. Busing will be provided for all students who choose the all-in option and the online academy school-based. We recognize that buses will be a high-risk zone since social distancing is very difficult. We're going to encourage parents to arrange for outside transportation when possible. Face coverings will be required while on the bus. The parents must assess student health before the students arrive at the bus stop. The students will have assigned seats and load the bus from the back to the front. There'll be 2 students per seat with siblings sitting together when applicable, and students will be provided hand sanitizer before entering the bus. Temperature taking procedures. On the buses, we are looking at one of the options that we are looking at is that students in grades 6 through 12 self-assess before getting on the bus if those students have not had their temperature taken previously. And we're looking at various options that are still being developed for students in grades K through 5 to do a temperature taking assessment before entering the bus. At the Fultz and school, the students' symptoms will be assessed and temperatures will be taken before entering the building. Every teacher and coach will be provided with a thermometer to keep in his or her classroom and use as needed. We are going to be going to a phase-in schedule to start the school year. The main reason why is to allow for our school district to provide the proper and adequate professional development to our amazing teachers and staff. August 17th through the 21st will be devoted to teacher professional development and staff professional development. Students who choose the all-in option will have a phase-in schedule during the week of the 24th through the 28th to slowly and safely acclimate students to the new protocols. The phase-in schedule is listed below, with the end goal that all students attend August 28th. The phase-in will allow for a high quality and proper student orientation to some of the new protocols and give our teachers a chance to make sure that emotional and social needs are being met at the beginning of the school year. The Online Academy school-based option. This is only for students in grades 6 through 12. The students report daily to the Fultz Center from 8:30 to 11:30. They will be socially distant. Students will work independently on online curriculum in a supervised setting. We'll use an online curriculum called Acellus. The busing will be available, and initial in-person setup and orientation for students will occur on August 24th at the Fultz Community Center. District facial covering expectations will be followed with students choosing the Online Academy school-based option. The Online Academy home-based option is open to all students in grades K through 12. Students complete the online coursework completely at home. Each student will be assigned a teacher from East Canton who will touch base with the student and monitor the online progress. Students who take advantage of the Online Academy are asked to make at least a 9-week commitment to this option. Elementary students will need a parent or responsible adult for daily support. The coursework will also be provided by the Acellus online curriculum. Teachers will focus on evidence of participation methods to record student attendance, and students in the home-based option will also have an orientation on August 24th. The Online Academy attendance will be taken daily. The evidence of participation may include daily logins to the Acellus curriculum, interactions with teacher and/or student success coach, and assignment progress and completion. The Acellus online platform uses video-based lessons with adaptive technology to personalize learning for students. It also utilizes instructional techniques that fill in student learning gaps. It identifies deficiencies in student learning and adapts instruction to align to those student needs. It's a competency-based program that allows students to progress as soon as they demonstrate mastery with no minimum time requirement per topic. We've included a link to Acellus in this slide that you will be able to access after this presentation. The entire PowerPoint and recording of this presentation will be posted on our district and school websites after we are finished this evening. Preschool will begin on August 24th, being the first day with daily attendance to follow. All preschoolers will attend 5 days a week with a shortened time slot. The Ohio Department of Job and Family Services has issued a requirement that the ratio be 1 adult to 9 students at a time. There'll be 1.5 hours of in-class learning and then a learning activity to complete at home with family. Students will be assigned to one of the following time slots as listed in this slide, and all preschool students will be registered and have access to district online curriculum for developmentally appropriate activities. Students will also get a snack with them when they are done with class. Extracurriculars. Anyone enrolled in any of the 3 learning options described will be eligible to participate in extracurricular activities. In order to do so, the students must pass at least 5 classes in order to retain eligibility per OHSAA requirements. As long as sports are permitted by the OHSAA, the governor's office, and public health officials, it's the intent of our district to proceed with sports and performing arts on schedule. Official practices for fall sports are set to begin on August 1st. The OHSAA yesterday released return to play recommendations. As part of those recommendations, to attempt to significantly mitigate the exposures are physical distancing while not on the field or court of play, requiring face coverings while not on the field or court of play, reducing or greatly eliminating unnecessary travel, reducing or eliminating sharing of common equipment, and reducing or eliminating contact frequency with student athletes. Our coaches and athletic director are currently reviewing these recommendations and planning accordingly. So how do orders from Governor DeWine fit into our plan? The orders mandated from the governor's office supersede guidance released on opening K through 12 schools. Levels 1 through 4 require compliance with all health orders. It was announced today, and very positive news, that Stark County went from level 2 to level 1. If the governor orders remote learning for all students, we will offer students, and this would be similar to the situation we were in last spring, we'll offer breakfast, lunch, and grab and go on Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., open to all East Canton families. There'll be no extracurricular activities. Special education services may be adjusted. Students that choose the online academy home-based option will experience no change. Students that choose the online academy school-based option will complete all courses work from home, and all-in students will be moved to e-learning 2.0 directed by their teachers. This slide is a crosswalk of the Stark County risk levels and the East Canton schools option. As I mentioned previously, the county level we are in yellow. So that would be for families in yellow and orange and red are essentially the same. You would have all-in option, online academy school-based, and online academy home-based. If we get into purple level 4, this would be what we would be expected or predicting that the governor would order remote learning for all. E-learning 2.0 will occur for all in students if on-campus learning is no longer possible. In this particular scenario, the students will be accountable for all work assigned. Attendance will be required during daily virtual meetings. Individual family issues will be handled at the building level with counselors and principals. Part of the feedback that we heard from families and from students from last spring was that it was difficult to keep a routine, a schedule during the online remote learning. In the event that we return to remote learning or e-learning 2.0, our schedule for elementary students in grades K through 5 will be as listed on this slide. 10 a.m. to noon will be a virtual class meeting with the teacher. The students would then work on assignments, perhaps do virtual group work. Teachers would offer assistance. 12 to 1 would be a lunch and a break. And then from 1 to 2:25 would be intervention and enrichment and perhaps some independent work time. The goal is to help keep students on a schedule, in positive routines, in the event that we are going to remote learning. E-learning 2.0 schedule for students in grades 6 through 12, the students would run through their regular schedule for an abbreviated amount of time. Any student that is involved in our College Credit Plus would work with our counselors, and then the teachers will also have additional time for intervention, enrichment, and or communication with students and families. The school start dates, as I mentioned, August 17th through the 21st is dedicated to professional development. August 19th will be the first day for career tech students to take their courses at Canton South or at Perry. And we will provide transportation to Canton South and Perry for students in the career tech program. And part of the reason why it's very important that our career tech students begin on August 19th is because oftentimes in programs, teachers will go over important safety protocols the first few days of class, and we want to make sure that our students go through a high quality safety training in all of their respective programs. August 24th will be the initial training and orientation for online academy students, both school-based and home-based, and this will be in person at the Fultz Community Center. August 24th and 25th, kindergarten students will be brought in to complete kindergarten readiness assessment, and details of this plan will be communicated to families. August 24th through the 27th, phase-in days for students that choose the all-in option. And August 28th is the first day where all students in grades K through 12 will report to school. Other dates to remember, besides the school start dates that we just mentioned, the district plans to keep all other previously decided calendar dates the same. And we also have listed the end of each 9-week quarter on this particular slide. Important family request. In order for our district leadership team to properly plan for this upcoming school year, we are requesting that families complete the survey below by July 31st to identify which learning option they would like for their child. Please complete one survey per child. The survey link is listed on this slide, in addition to the scan option also included on this slide. Communication is going to be a point of emphasis for our district during the next school year. We have transitioned to offering all of our first day forms be online or be able to be filled out online through a program called Final Forms. Go to the district website, click on Parents, and choose First Day Forms. And there'll be instructions to create an account and fill your forms out online. All first day paperwork needs to be completed prior to the first day of school. Another software that we'll be using to enhance communication is an app called Remind. Many of you are familiar with Remind if used by a teacher previously or a coach previously. As a district, we'll use Remind to offer two-way communication with parents, students, and teachers. And the communication will occur through text message and or emails. You should be expecting to receive a text from Remind on behalf of the district and will be asked to complete a registration. Please don't opt out of this communication. I also would like to take this time to encourage everyone to stay informed via our social media Twitter handles as listed on this slide. The survey link will be provided on the district homepage within this presentation and across district social media accounts. And again, a friendly reminder that one survey per student needs to be submitted no later than July 31st. We know that next year is going to be a year where we have to adapt and adjust to circumstances that seem to evolve on a daily basis. And as a reminder, these are the plans that are at this moment with the best information that we have at this time. We'll continue to reevaluate the plan, to tweak it, to improve it based upon evolving conditions, data about the status of the pandemic, and recommendations and guidance from our local, state, and national health officials. I'd like to take this time to thank the large number of people on our district task force that help and work so hard and collaboratively to put our plan together. And as I hope that you can see, we did so in a very thoughtful and deliberate way to be able to offer many different options and solutions to our families. I would also like to take this time to thank our amazing faculty and staff for stepping up in a very difficult situation and doing our level best to try to help our students and families. I feel as though our students last year and during these times now have shown a tremendous amount of resilience. Our families have been very supportive, and we are truly all in this together. So at this time, I'm going to pause, and Principal Dent is going to share some questions that may be that were posed in the YouTube Live. And I will do my best to answer those questions. And if it's a question where we don't have the answer, then we'll make sure that we find the answer and get back to you in a timely manner. Principal Dent.
Thank you, Mr. Finnerfrock. We've done a really good job. Mrs. Carter, Mrs. Foss, and Mr. Hinton have fielded quite a few questions during your presentation. Right now, we currently have one question, so I'll go ahead and ask that to you. If you choose the home base and decide after 9 weeks you can't do it, are you able to go back to the all-in option?
Yes. So we're asking that those transitions only occur at the end of the quarter. And I appreciate our leadership team and also encourage any parent or family member that does have a question to please reach out to our building principals, Principal Carter at the elementary school, Principal Dent at the middle school, or Principal Hinton at the high school, and we will make sure to get back to you and get you the information that you need. So at this time, that concludes our presentation. As I stated below, it will be posted on our website. Please, if you have questions or about choosing the different learning options, please feel free to reach out to our building principals. And again, on behalf of the Board of Education, I want to thank you for supporting our teachers, for supporting our staff, for supporting your children and the school district. Have a good evening.